let me know and then
Get going.
all right, awesome. Okay, guys, welcome. We're in week 12. That's the final week of the Winning with Web Solutions team contest. And I've got a really big treat in store for you tonight. So in addition to talking about, the next logical thing to talk about, which is how do you act and serve as a really great customer manager to all of the clients that you will have generated, if not during this 12-week period, as a result of the work that you did during the 12-week period. We're also going to talk a little bit about, we're going to give some tips at the end about how you can maximize this final week of the contest so that you can count as much activity as possible for this week toward your end results. And then ultimately, of course, everything that you do this week is not just about winning points for the contest, but of course, fueling your business. At the very end of the presentation as well, I'll have Russell go ahead and swap presenter mode over to me, and I'm going to give you a little preview of the brand new marketing manual, which, yes, we could wait until international to release it, but there's really no point in that. So as soon as we get our last round of edits completed, I imagine that'll take about 1 week, probably less. We will make that available to you as well. But I wanted to give you guys a little heads up because a number of the questions that come up, as a result, we felt that we could put together a new asset that might be a really great resource for you guys to lean on in terms of coming up with good hot buttons to talk with people, as well as to help focus people on what would work best for them. Because at the end of the day, there are so many options that Web Centers offers our clients, so we want to make sure that we can, support the decision and make it easier. This is something we'll be sharing with our product specialists as well, so that everybody is on the same page. Okay, so without further ado, what we're going to do this evening is we have two of our very best trainers on the line tonight, and they are going to walk us through what they're best at. So Jason's going to talk to us a little bit about how to be a great customer manager, Jason Pelland, and some of the things that he does with his clients, which results in him ultimately having clients for life and ultimately having clients that send him referrals. And Jason, of course, when we get to the slides, if there's anything that I may have missed that you want to add, feel free to add. And then the second person that we have tonight is, he needs no introduction, of course, but it's Russell Polo, and he's going to talk a little bit about how to handle the process. So if your clients are having any challenges during the process, what can you do to support the process without impeding it? And that's a really, really important skill to learn how to have, because we want to make sure that we're keeping it positive and that, of course, we're being productive in supporting the process so that together we can always make sure our clients are satisfied and have a positive end result. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to Jason. And I believe, Russell, you'll control the slides and Jason will be the speaker.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for the introduction, Sarah. Sarah hit the nail on the head when she talked about the idea of having ongoing customers for life, happy customers that send you referrals, and that's what you want. You want lifelong customers and happy customers. So that all starts not at the sale. It actually starts before that, right? You want to make sure that you build that relationship going into every presentation, every appointment, every phone call, and then continue to build upon that relationship. So it's important to understand how you can support your clients. While you're going to be kind of like an account manager and building that relationship, you have to make sure that you are connecting your business owners with the right teams so that they can have successful campaigns and you can be that liaison. You want to make sure that they are working through the design process, right? Making sure they're going through the design wizard and working with their project manager. Are they using customer care? Are they calling you? And many web center owners talk about how am I supposed to manage all of my customers? They keep calling me. And that's great. It means that they know you, they like you, they trust you. But that can get old fast, and that's not your job. But you want to support them and make sure they're connecting with customer care. So make sure you introduce them to customer care, the tech helplines. It's so important as part of the process. And then, of course, sharing resources. We've got some incredible resources from the Facebook page to the YouTube channel to mawebcenters.com. There are so many resources, and you want to make sure that you share those with your customers, because you don't want to just have the sale, the digital marketing projects, a website design and then just leave them and just start collecting the recurring BV. You want to still be engaged with those customers and those clients, right? So it's very, very important that you say thank you. How are you doing that, right? How are you saying thank you? We'll talk a little bit about that in another slide, but engaging your clients with MA Web Centers. Don't be afraid to get on a three-way call and introduce them to customer care. You know, one thing that I would recommend you do is when people call you with questions is say, hey, that's a great question. Let's go ahead and get them on the phone. You'll make sure that you write down this phone number if you don't have it already. I'll make sure I email it to you as well. And do a three-way phone call. Get them connected with MA Web Centers. Occasionally check in, right? You want to check in every now and then, occasionally check their website, make sure that you're sending out those emails, but then just a phone call every now and then, a text message, or even stopping in. I would highly encourage you to become a customer or a client of their business as well and send them referrals. I can't speak highly of that. And then staying organized. Staying organized with those follow-ups and making sure that you've got touch points, keeping notes on things that are happening in their business, but also reaching out through your organization to make sure that they know that they have clients that are web center or websites clients of yours, and if they're in their local areas, you want to support them as well, and they're going to love you for that when you're giving them referrals from even your business partners. So, you know, we say, how do you say thank you? You know, do you just say thank you? Do you have a phone call? Do you just do an email? I would recommend a handwritten note, right? Something about having a physical note is fantastic. It kind of stands out to people nowadays in this tech age that we live in, and certainly we're talking about digital products, but when you can send a card, maybe a gift card, a shop.com gift card, certainly a phone call or an email, but stay engaged, but certainly thank them for their business because they've got so many vendors and so many options out there that they can go to, but you want to make sure that you stand out amongst the rest. So make it personal, right? Learn about them, maybe even send them a birthday card every now and then or an anniversary card or anything that you might know. If they like dogs, then ask about their dog. Be involved in their life, and that's how you're going to build those lifelong relationships. So don't really step out of the box where it's like uncomfortable for you, but you want to make sure that you are doing something, right? At the very least, do something when it comes to thanking your customers. So, you know, when we thank people, right, we want to make sure that we edify their teams, right? Whether it's the design product and the design team, edify tech support, you know. Even in some of your sales support calls, I would highly encourage you in your confirmation calls, you say, I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to get our top web specialist on the call today, right? Edify them. So it'll make the sales process go much smoother. They're going to be excited about the product. And then when they launch their campaign, you want to edify tech support. If they have any questions, need anything, any assistance on an email, SEO, tech support, website editing, you've got an unbelievable team that's working for you, and make sure that you have this phone number and you make sure they have it in their Rolodex and right at their disposal. Let them know that you are available for help, right? It doesn't mean that you've got to do it for them, but you are there to assist, right? Think about that word, assist. You want to assist them in getting in contact with the right person, field any questions, and if there's any issue that you may have or they may have that you don't really know where, just let them know, hey, I'm going to make sure that we handle this and get the right person in contact with you, and that's when you can reach out to you know, the folks at MA Web Centers to figure out how to help your client the best. And then how about a referral program? I'm not sure if you've thought about this. I know Ray talked about this when we talked about referrals, but having a referral program in place is so powerful. So you can say thank you, stay engaged with people, but then maybe you're going to give a $100 shop.com gift card. Or maybe you're going to give them a check to a rebate towards their hosting if they give you a referral. So look at this idea. You know, we thank you for your referrals. We're excited about the project with New Reality Web Solutions. And for any referrals, we're going to give you a check for $100. Thank you for your support and continued trust. So these are great ways to have ongoing referrals and happy customers, right? Have incentives in place so that you can continue to keep that pipeline, that funnel full and new names, because as you probably agree, there's no better lead than a referral from a happy customer. So think about that. What could you do for a referral program? And then if they're interested in what you say, connect them with the right people. So when you're engaging people, maybe they're just a website customer, website client, you're going to be in conversation and they say, oh, geez, the website's a little old, getting a little old, or maybe it was an older website client and it's not responsive. It's the old mobile website version. Or maybe they just want something freshened up, or maybe they changed their logo. They're changing their design scheme for their business. Well, you want to make sure that you're listening to those buzzwords, right? Introduce them to the design center. Maybe there's a new product that we've learned about through, say, a convention or a new digital asset like the B2B catalog. Find a way to get in touch with them, sit down with them, maybe do a shopping assessment, right, the spending assessment. Are you using the email campaigns, right? Use email campaigns as a way to leverage the email campaigns that your customers can use right through their own dashboard. And certainly e-commerce, make sure they're involved with tech support. Every one of my e-commerce customers, I have them engage with tech support very early on so they understand they've got a great support team when it comes to adding products and changing prices and anything that might happen. So you want to stay in tune with those customers in the dialogue to make sure that you know where to refer them, right? And the blog, mawebcenters.com blog, and the social media channel have so much great content. So are you sharing that out to your existing clients? It's a great way. We're an extension of the MA Web Centers division, so you want to make sure that you're leveraging all the tools that are at our disposal. So use them as ideas for things to check in about. Hey, I just learned about a new email campaign. Are you currently using the email campaign feature on your website? And, listen. Maybe it's something that has to do with SEO, talking about Google ranking. Or maybe they changed locations, they moved, and they changed it on their website. Maybe they're going to need to do some more SEO campaigns to make sure that it doesn't affect their Google rankings. Maybe they're adding locations, right? So staying in touch with your customers and clients is very important because a lot can happen over the course of a year, 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years with a company. So always be sure to share content that might offer them value. Right? And if you're listening to your customers and your clients and you're staying in tune to what their business is all about over the course of a month, 2 months, or even quarterly, you'll know what to share at what time with them because you'll be listening to them, and that's very important. So you are a web center owner and you have an entire dedicated team to handle things like sales, design, technical support, and billing. You should leverage those resources as much as possible. But sometimes you have the relationship with the customer. They might not be comfortable doing that, or they just know that you're the great rep that introduced them and they want to come to you. You want to make sure that you offload, delegate, but don't step away. Right? I see a lot of times people want to step away from the process. You want to stay engaged at every part of the process. Right? Your role is to connect people. As it was mentioned last week, be the dot connector. Be clear on your role for yourself and with your clients because you don't want to have 30, 40, 50, 100 website clients all resting on you. You want to make sure that you're leveraging the team with NA Web Solutions. Are you using things in your voicemail, right? If you have any immediate concerns, make sure that you dial the tech help support line, 866-WEB-HELP. Are you using email autoresponders? Because if they send you an email and you're on an appointment, they're expecting you to answer the email right away, but if you have something in your email that gives all that information, that's going to be very helpful. If they need an immediate concern, you want to make sure that they reach out to the right party. Even in your personal responses to any questions, that's a great question for our project managers in the design team, or that's a great question for our SEO specialists. Let's get them on the phone. Or that's a question about your account and I don't have access to that, so let's make sure we get on the phone with the billing department, right? Use them. This is an entire company working for you.
Right, and Russell, I know you had some stuff that you wanted to jump in around this as well. So,
well, sure. First off, I mean, everything Jason said is absolutely right on, and that
right.
it's so critical to maintain a solid relationship with the client. If you're near them, I love to do the drop-in. If you can use their service, like we use our auto mechanic as our customer, we're going to do that. We're going to be seen using them. We're going to build a solid relationship, and because we have a solid relationship with them, when they get these cold calls or cold emails from these other companies saying, we found 5 critical issues in your website. Please contact us to find out what they are. And so these are, phishing, not really scams, but they're trying to find ways to suck our customers away with the fear of, oh my God, something's wrong with the website. Because we have a solid relationship with them, they come to me and say, what's this about, as opposed to getting sucked in by those tactics. And so that's one of the benefits of maintaining a solid relationship with your client. But there's so many ways that, building a website is not a simple process. It's a very complicated thing. It takes many things to fall in line to happen. And I mean, the customer's got to get the information they need to make the sales decision, and there can be hiccups anywhere in the process. So in the sales process, the customer will be ready to buy but needs an answer to a question. And so you want to take on the role of, well, find out who at tech support can answer this question, who can get a specific answer to the customer if they need something. In the design team, this is a common challenge, is that it takes longer than the customer expects, and usually it's because the customer hasn't gotten stuff to the design team. And so it's a good idea to keep plugged in, find out who the project manager is, touch base with them either by phone or email, and just find out, do you have everything you need to proceed, or are you still waiting on the client for something? If you're waiting on the client for something, reach out to the client saying, I understand they're still waiting on some photos, or do you have a chance to go through this? And, provide the support, to get the process rolling so it doesn't get stagnated and the customer doesn't get frustrated. And a couple of things on the voicemail. Tris and I got this great trick that we learned from Sarah Rose here, which is that the outgoing voicemail says if you need help with your website, please call, and there's the phone number, because it makes very clear if it's a technical question, here's the number to call. And so that definitely resolves a lot of the headaches. And so definitely encourage, if you're majoring in web centers and so that people are calling you about your website, definitely encourage you to put that in your voicemail. But in addition, sometimes a customer is going to have an issue. They're going to be upset about something. And what you want to be very careful about is not to pour gasoline on the fire. It's critical that you help soften the problem and get towards a solution, as opposed to kind of dig your feet in and get angry with the client, because then nothing gets solved. And so, very commonly there's concerns about how long design's taking. And so instead of being upset with the client, so why it's taking so long, tell the client, well, I don't know why it's taking so long. I'm going to find out, and then you call up the design center and find out, well, what's the holdup? What's the delay? Is there ETA in something? If the customer has a challenge with tech support, they call up and didn't feel like they got a satisfactory answer, or they felt like they weren't handled properly. Again, don't pour gasoline on the fire. Make sure that you say that doesn't sound like something would happen on tech support. That seems unusual. Let me find out what happened. You can, they record all the calls. If you make a formal request, they'll pull a recording and, see what the issue was. And I'll be honest with you, 9 times out of 10 or 19 out of 20, it's just a misunderstanding, and it's usually something silly, and it doesn't help to get people more upset about it. What you want to do is try and diffuse the issue and try and solve, well, what is it they're trying to do? And, maybe it's just a miscommunication. We had a particularly amusing runaround between a tech support person and one of my clients. The client kept talking about how the menu wasn't right, and the tech support person thought they were talking about the menu that selects pages on top of the screen. No, the client was talking about the items for food for sale at her restaurant, and there was just a misunderstanding, miscommunication there, and it was very amusing when we figured it out. But it's just, you don't want to jump to conclusions. You want to make sure that you understand what's going on, and just be careful in this respect, because the tech support team and all the teams, they're very helpful. They want to get things right, and my experience has always been that they're trying to get the solutions right. Nobody's trying to deliberately anger the customer. And sometimes you have a client who is just a little bit short-fused and can kind of make things worse, and so you want to be careful about that. We've got a lot of tools available to us in the Web Center. It's the same kind of tools that our customer gets, so we can actually tie a domain name and email address to our Web Center, so we can set up a domain name you can use in your business card. It gives you a much more professional look to it. And you can have, your email address be, your name at that domain name. It gives you a very good professional look, much better than at Yahoo or Gmail. It looks like you're actually in business. How you do that, you go into My Account and set up domains and email. You're going to set up your domain name, and then you're going to add email addresses as you care to. You can have as many as you want, because just like our clients, we have unlimited email addresses. And so we have all the same tools that our clients get in this respect. We get the email campaign tools they have as well. So you can create a custom email campaign, so you can use this as an announcement for some new feature that came live. Maybe it's a seasonal referral, especially when to be sure your clients know about it. They're going to refer somebody, or just hey, how's it going? Whatever you want to do, it's a very easy tool to set up. You choose one of the templates, And you choose one of the email templates. It shows you here's the samples of the templates. You choose one. You can choose a date and time for it to be broadcast and able to have the message be whatever you like. You can go with the fully custom or choose one of the ones existing and change its text and look to just however you want. It's the same tools our clients get. And so there's a benefit to you actually using it because then you are familiar with its capability. Not that I expect you to be able to teach your clients how to do it, but that you know what it can do and are familiar with how it can work and what its results will look like. And always, if I'm kind of just running through it very quickly right here. If you want to now be able to do this, we have a whole tech support team there who can help us do this anytime. So if you want to send a custom message out to your clients or to a subgroup of your clients, definitely feel like you can call up support and get that information. Now, what kinds of things we want to send out to our clients? Well, I love sending notes about upgrades. We've got these new fancy widgets and animations that went live not too long ago. I sent an email out to our clients about that, let them know we had those features, that they could call up and add those to make some little animations and fluff to the site if they wanted to. Website climate is a great resource. People care about that a lot. Big news about a year ago was how Mobilegeddon was coming about. Google was cutting out sites that aren't mobile friendly on mobile searches, so very critical. Or anyone who still does not yet have a responsive website, good argument to get them to come on and get a design package and update that website to be responsive. There are lots of other resources that you can use. You can even share design work, both from your own customers and that has been put out on Facebook and Instagram. You can show examples of work the team's done. Just be careful to say, this is what our team has done. Don't make it sound like it's your own personal work. And always edify the team as professionals, and you can also share testimonials, either that have been shared on social media or that you have of your own. Definitely feel comfortable sharing those in email messages out to your clients. Just here's an example of how to set up a thank you campaign. You choose a campaign. You want to set up a value. This is actually the week 12 action.
Yeah, but before we go into that, if you don't mind, just because I want that to be the last thing people remember after today, I'm going to go ahead and do the preview, if that's cool.
Okay, cool.
All right, awesome. So first of all, as you're switching presenter mode over, both of Jason and Russell, I have nothing to add. You guys, you hit everything on the head. It was perfect. And guys, a lot of people think in web centers that you don't need, that the customer manager part is all tech support. And from a technical perspective, yes, that's absolutely true. But, it's the same thing as if you had a client on auto ship, right? If you had an OPC3 customer that decided to go on auto ship because that's a product they didn't want to go without, you would take extra care of that customer, right? Because they're a lifelong customer. They're committed and they're gonna buy from you every month. And you want to do the same thing with your website clients, doing exactly what Jason and Russell were talking you guys through. So don't take this lesson lightly. It really is the difference between somebody that has a portfolio of 50 or more clients and someone that doesn't. It's the difference between somebody that gets referrals from their existing customer base and somebody that doesn't. And by the way, that's the funnest way to build your website business with this division, is through referrals from existing clients. It's easy. It's a fun process. So it's worth the extra time. And you're earning ongoing BEV from these clients anyway and a significant retail profit, so it just makes sense. Okay, so before we go through the weekly exercises, I want to take 4 or 5 minutes just to preview the brand new marketing manual. So as you guys know, the Web Center division has been working very hard to arm you guys with all of the tools that you need to, number one, have more qualified appointments, and number two, demystify the product for your customers, and number three, explain, have more assets and resources to even know what we have and be able to share what we have. So obviously there are tools that we've been talking about a lot throughout this contest and that people have been utilizing. Those are the assessment notepads and the catalogs, the magnets, the websites, etc. And so 2 things that have been highly asked for are, number one, a comparison chart of how do we compare against the competition. And that I don't have a preview for you today, but that has been submitted for design as well, and we should have that available for you very, very soon. And that will be available probably within a week to 2 weeks. So that is going to show exactly how do we compare against Wix, against GoDaddy, against WordPress. And we're going to go feature by feature so you can see that MA Web Centers is giving away features that other clients nickel and dime for or don't even have as an option, which is really interesting. Now, the second thing that was highly requested is an updated marketing manual. So for those of you that don't know, on the 411 site, there's a marketing manual, and that marketing manual was built about 10 years ago, like really when I got started with Web Centers, and I used it all the time. I had it printed out, and then when the Design Center came out, I had it printed out alongside Design Center samples as well. And so if you get to like the meat and potatoes of the old marketing manual, what it did was it went through every industry you could possibly think of and give you reasons why they need a website. And so it's funny, so when I was talking to certain prospects, and they were at the time, like they were thinking, gosh, I don't know if I need a website at all. This kind of gave me a little bit of like, just a little bit of ammunition to keep the conversation going. So if I was talking to a bakery and they were thinking they didn't need a website, I could literally have my marketing manual opened up to bakery and say, actually, it would be really great for you to be able to share the flavors that you have available at any given time, as well as the flavors that you have available for this day or this week only. And so what that did was it made me able to relate to a specific benefit that bakery owner was interested in. It made us relate because it showed them that I was interested and somewhat aware of what their industry was all about and what they, something that would be important to them. So as we were going through the old marketing manual, one of the things that we noticed was there was a ton of redundancy. And so while it was very helpful, there was a lot of things that were the same from industry to industry minus maybe one bullet, if that. So what we did was a little different. The brand new marketing manual, as you can see, is redesigned. It's rewritten, and the design is consistent with the design of the other materials that we've been putting out, like our catalog and our assessments and things like that. So there are 3 sections to the manual, and I'm going to show you some screenshots from each of them. The first one is called General Definitions and Statistics. And what this is sort of like updated versions of the infographics. And the purpose of this section is to explain why a customer or a client would even need to look at this product in the first place. So it was at the Northeast Regional, somebody said something about selling OPC3 is hard at first when you don't know a lot about it, or you don't know why someone would need it, or you don't have any testimonials. And the reason it's hard at first, or can be hard at first, is because when you're talking to your customers about taking an antioxidant, they don't believe that they even need an antioxidant. It's not the same as selling them a multivitamin, because most average Americans understand that, yeah, multivitamins are a great idea, right? That's something that we should have, and it's something that most people are open to taking or know that they should take. So there's sort of like a customer education portion of that process that happens, or a demystification process that has to happen first. And what the light bulb went off for me at that Northeast Regional when that isotonics example came out, and I said, that's exactly what Web Centers goes through. We're not selling these products to people that understand this realm, right? We're not talking to web developers, we're talking to restaurant owners, we're talking to lawyers, we're talking to roofers, we're talking to small to medium-sized business owners. So when we talk to them about our different levels of Google AdWords or Facebook advertisements, they don't even understand why they need it in the first place. So for them, choosing a Google AdWords program is not going to be something on their radar until they even believe that they need it. So the purpose of Section 1 is to, of course, demystify that. So here's what it looks like. So it's basically an updated version of what the infographics were. It's just a little bit differently designed. So it starts off, and each one of the products is the exact same format. So it says, what is it? Why is it important, and what are your options? So, for example, what is responsive design? A responsive website looks great and is easy to use across all devices, including laptops, phones, and tablets. Why is responsive design important? And there's a great little quote there from Huffington Post. A lot of smartphone use seems to be habitual, automatic behaviors that we have no awareness of. So we're basically explaining to our customers that most people use their smartphones so habitually that it's an autopilot type of situation, like breathing. And then we give them facts around that. We say, in fact, according to experts, people spend an average of 5.2 hours a day on their smartphones, and mobile optimized sites are critical for engaging your viewers because 40% of people will abandon a site if it takes too long to load. 67 or more percent are more likely to purchase from mobile optimized sites, et cetera, et cetera. Then we say the options: do it yourself, premium layout, custom design, classic, professional, etc. Now, we're not going to define each of those because this is really meant to be used in companion with the B2B catalog. So as you can see, the general stats are laid out there to just give you some really great talking points and educate your customers or potential customers about what something is, and most importantly, why is it important for their business. Now, the second section is kind of speaking to the importance of everything, but also eliminating the redundancy of the old marketing manual. So what we did was we noticed that all of the industries that were listed in the old one really fell into a type of business. And the types of businesses that we most typically sell into are restaurants, storefronts or e-commerce sites, service-based businesses, education studios or schools, or nonprofit organizations. And then, so what we did for each of those types of businesses is we laid out successful strategies and ideas to motivate them and get them inspired around those strategies, followed by specific product recommendations for that type of business. So the front page is all the ideas. The back of the page is all of the recommendations. So over here, we explain what this section is all about, and then, for example, restaurants, we say successful website components include, and then we talk in terms of development and maintenance, photography, the best informational pages to keep, interactivity that should be involved in a great website, and e-commerce strategies, and most of them also have an other as well. So what happens is, if I'm sitting down with a potential restaurant client and I say, listen, you know, the most successful strategies for restaurants are responsive website design with content that is updated frequently to reflect your specials and events. The types of photographs that should be on there are shots of your venue, menu items, happy customers, entertainment shots, and also you want to have stuff that captures the ambiance, right? Top informational pages will include your menu, your wine and beer list, specials, entertainment that you might have, contact us, catering if you have that, special events, or an about us, interactivity, things like online reservations, Google Maps, click-to-call, forms, and e-commerce, of course, is online ordering and gift cards. I'll also drop a little seed here that we're working on an e-commerce online ordering widget that will be specifically tailored for restaurants. Next, we give them specific ideas. So, by the way, if you talk to a restaurant owner about those things, here's what you just did. You just knocked down a massive barrier wall for them, because so many restaurant or business owners want to do their site over, but they don't know what should be on their website, and so it becomes this massive project in their brain that they don't want to start because they don't have the time to think about where to start. So if you sit there and you're giving them ideas for pages and photos and you're giving them specific things that they should be thinking about, after this conversation is done, they should be totally ready and motivated to get started, right? Or at least to take a good look with a product specialist. We do the exact same thing for digital marketing strategies. We give them ideas for social media, search engines, and other ideas as well. Now, on the right-hand side here are all of the recommendations for that specific industry. So for restaurants, we've got website recommendations first. Now, as you can see here, you've got a good column, a better column, or a best column. So what I would do is, and what the product specialist will be able to do as well, and use this as a way to really make that client get everything that they need right from the get-go, is start with whatever's a good fit for their needs and their goals and their budget at the time. So if they want the best solution for a website, then you would recommend, okay, or the product specialist, whoever, would recommend responsive website with professional design package and e-commerce. If they want a better solution for web management, okay, monthly membership. If they just want kind of a good solution for social media to get started, recommend social media management. Or if they want a better solution for digital marketing, then I would recommend local SEO and premium Google AdWords. So this just takes some of the guesswork out, and it gives you like a nice little product recommendations tool that you can use to make good recommendations. The second section is around business spending. And the idea here is to create a high-quality preferred customer for your shop.com website to make converting their business overhead into ongoing IBV for you, and of course ongoing cashback for them, which ultimately turns them into an unfranchised owner prospect as well. So we identified the top places that each of those types of businesses spend money to run their business. So for a restaurant, we identified that as paper goods, non-perishables, aluminum foil or saran wrap, to-go containers, printed menus, and half pans. And we recommend solid partner stores, and we share what the cashback percentage is. So as you can see here, I mean, this is amazing. Printed menus, Staples, Copy and Print Center, 9% cash back. So if you're sitting down with a client and you're trying to explain to them why shopping through your shop.com website is a great idea for their business overhead, gosh, guys, they're going to spend money on those menus anyway. Why not save a little bit of money and earn cash back for something they're going to do anyway? You can convert their spending into earning. Below that, we've got some recommendations for commercial accounts, which is a program where they can get BV products at a reduced price. Now, there's a meet-on about that, so if you want to learn more about that, you can. If it's for business, like personal use, the business is going to use it within their business, we recommended Snap. If it's something that they're going to retail, we recommended Aloe, Mocha Tonics, and Awake. And then finally, other recommendations included reducing credit card fees through iTransact, and of course Shop Local, because restaurants would benefit from the Shop Local program, and of course more foot traffic to their physical location. So as you can see, it's like we're giving them great ideas to get them excited, and then we've got all of the best ideas for taking action on these recommendations right over here on the back of that page. Now, section 3 is called Your Web Center Powered by People, because part of being a successful web center owner is understanding what your web center is, what it does, and what the teams of professionals that work for you will and won't do. And so the best web center owners are the ones that leverage the teams the most and the most appropriately. So the last section, is over here, and it goes through the web center program benefits, and then it goes through each team and tells them what you can expect, or tells you what you can expect them to do versus what you can expect them not to do. So if you're an existing web center owner or a brand new web center owner, this is probably the biggest resource that you have available to you are the teams of professionals. So understanding who they are and exactly what they're capable of contributing to your business and your big picture is a critical part of your success. So we put that in the marketing manual as well. And we also included the different ways to engage as a web center owner. So web center owner, intern program, pro affiliate, and pro partner is all clearly defined, along with links over to explain what, a little bit more about that product or that type of engagement. So let me come back over here and open up to the final 2 pages. Excuse me. I hope you guys like it. We are making a few verbiage updates to that marketing manual, but as soon as that's done, I'm going to make it available for download, and I'll actually email blast everybody that was on the contest so that you don't miss it, because it's a free resource that we've been working on, and we certainly want you guys to use that. And yes, we'll talk about it at International Convention, but we're certainly not going to hold it back from you while we wait for that big, incredible event to hit us. So with that being said, Russell and Jason did an incredible job as always. As you know, I wouldn't expect anything less of them, talking about ways to become great customer managers. So as you can see in the 12-week action plan, there's some good ideas in there. The exercise here just tells you that we want you to say thank you and however that makes sense for you. And like Jason mentioned, a physical thank you note is always best. If you can do that, go for it. And then secondly, make contact just for value. Say hello. How are things? Like Russell said, there's a new upgrade that just came out. Make sure you call tech support and find out about that. And then if you want to get extra technical or efficient about it, use your email marketing system that comes with your web center for free. Go ahead and upload all your contacts and feel free to blast out an email campaign. And by the way, I probably should have included some screenshots in here, but Brett and his team created some customized email templates that talk specifically to our Facebook product, specifically to responsive website redesign, and specifically to Google AdWords. So there's some great, intriguing content preloaded on those email campaigns, and all you have to do is sign your name and blast it out to your customers or your prospects. And it's a great way to get a conversation started about a new product or service that might be very valuable to that client. So if you're minoring, we want you to go ahead and choose your system for tracking your clients. How are you going to file them? Is it going to be paper? Are you going to use the CRM in the web center itself? Or are you going to have some other system? But pick a system for staying organized. And then we recommend that you contact your clients at least every 3 to 6 months to check in. If you're a web center major, you're also going to choose a system for tracking your clients and stay consistent with that. And we recommend that you contact them quarterly, and we recommend that you use the email campaign system with your web center so that you can, that establishes you a little bit as an industry, in the industry as well. It makes you look very professional, and it's very efficient. So we recommend that you take use of that. If you're a Web Center Pro, we recommend you do all of those things, except we recommend that your contact be monthly and that you send out email campaigns at least once a month, if not every other week, around upgrade support webinars or specials that are coming up. All right, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to Jason, as well as to, I want to make to Russell, and as well as to all of you. This week is your final week in the contest, so what I recommend that you do is you take an inventory of everything that you've done thus far and figure out what did you leave on the table and how can you create some urgency to get more people into appointments with product specialists or get more sales in the book that you can count toward the contest. The contest officially closes out on Friday at midnight Eastern Standard Time, so make sure you guys get your results in, and if you forgot to report a result in one of the previous weeks, feel free to include it in this week's report. There will not be a webinar next Monday, although originally I had hoped to do a 13th week of follow-up. It is Memorial Day, and I feel like most people are going to be with family, so what we'll do instead is we'll send up a really nice follow-up email the following Tuesday that kind of recaps everything and gives you some direction along with some links to resources that'll be great for you to take advantage of between now and the International Convention. All right, guys, thank you so very, very much. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Russell. You guys are the best. And if you need anything, as always, please, please, please feel free to reach out to us over email or on the Facebook group. Have a great night, everyone. Take care.